Have you ever felt like you're waiting for your real life to begin? You wake up, you go through the motions. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, yet something feels strangely absent. It's not necessarily sadness, it's not always anxiety, it's something quieter, a feeling that you're moving, but not arriving. And perhaps the strangest part is this: some people feel lost even after achieving everything they once believed would make them happy. A successful career, a loving relationship, financial security. If having more isn't always the answer, then why do so many people still feel like something is missing? That question has occupied philosophers, psychologists, and spiritual teachers for generations, and the answer may be far less obvious than we imagine. Most people think feeling lost means not knowing where to go. But what if that's only the surface? What if feeling lost has less to do with lacking direction and more to do with losing connection? Not connection to other people, connection to yourself. We spend years learning how to fit into the world. As children, we quickly discover which behaviors earn approval and which invite rejection. Without realizing it, we begin shaping ourselves around expectations. We become who we're rewarded for being. We silence the parts that seem inconvenient. Little by little, adaptation becomes identity. Carl Jung described something similar through the idea of the persona, the social self we present to the world. The persona isn't a deception, it's necessary. Every society depends on people understanding roles and expectations. But Jung also warned that when we identify completely with that outward identity, something important is pushed into the background. The authentic self doesn't disappear, it simply becomes harder to hear. Imagine listening to a radio station that's slowly buried beneath static. The music never stops playing, it just becomes increasingly difficult to recognize. Perhaps that quiet discomfort many people carry isn't proof that something is wrong. Perhaps it's a signal, a reminder that somewhere beneath responsibilities, routines, and expectations, a forgotten part of you is still trying to be heard. Modern psychology offers a different but complementary perspective. Research suggests that people experience greater well-being when their daily lives align with their values and intrinsic motivations. When our actions consistently conflict with what genuinely matters to us, a sense of inner tension often emerges. Sometimes we interpret that tension as confusion, sometimes as emptiness, sometimes simply as feeling lost. Yet the deeper issue may not be uncertainty, it may be misalignment. This creates an interesting paradox. The clearer we become about what others expect from us, the easier it can become to lose sight of what we expect from ourselves. Alan Watts often reflected on how modern life encourages endless striving. Finish school, find the perfect career, buy the house, reach the next milestone. Each achievement promises fulfillment just beyond the horizon, yet once we arrive, the horizon quietly moves again. Another goal appears, another destination, another version of ourselves we believe will finally feel complete. The chase continues, not because we're moving toward ourselves, but because we're constantly moving away from the present moment. Of course, goals aren't the problem. Growth matters, ambition has its place. The question is whether we're pursuing something that genuinely reflects who we are, or merely following a script we never consciously chose. Viktor Frankl believed that one of humanity's deepest needs is the search for meaning. After surviving unimaginable suffering during the Holocaust, he argued that people can endure extraordinary hardship when they perceive a meaningful purpose in their lives. Importantly, Frankl didn't claim that meaning could be handed to us. It had to be discovered, or created. That distinction changes everything, because if meaning isn't something waiting somewhere in the future, perhaps feeling lost isn't solved by finding the perfect destination. Perhaps it's solved by changing the relationship we have with the journey itself. Consider how often we postpone living. I'll be happy when, I'll feel confident after, my life will start once. These sentences seem harmless, yet they quietly place life somewhere other than here, always ahead, never now. Eckhart Tolle has often suggested that much of psychological suffering comes from becoming trapped in either the past or the imagined future. Whether one fully agrees or not, there's something difficult to ignore. How much of our lives are actually spent inhabiting this moment, and how much are spent mentally living somewhere else? The Stoic philosophers explored a similar insight. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself that the present moment is all we ever truly possess. The past exists as memory, the future as possibility. Action happens only here. Perhaps feeling lost is sometimes less about lacking direction and more about constantly looking beyond the place where life is unfolding. But there is another reason people lose themselves: fear. Not dramatic fear, quiet fear, the fear of disappointing others, the fear of choosing the wrong path, the fear of wasting time, the fear of discovering that the life we've built isn't the one we truly wanted. These fears often keep us standing still while convincing us we're being careful. Psychologists describe something known as analysis paralysis, the tendency to overthink decisions until action becomes increasingly difficult. Ironically, waiting for certainty often produces even greater uncertainty. Life becomes smaller, not because opportunities disappear, because hesitation quietly replaces curiosity. Jung once observed that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Notice that he spoke of becoming, not inventing, not pretending. Becoming suggests that something essential already exists beneath the layers we've accumulated. Perhaps feeling lost doesn't always mean you've wandered away from yourself. Perhaps you've simply stopped listening. Imagine walking through a dense forest. At first, the path is obvious. Then the trees become thicker. The trail fades. Eventually, you stop recognizing where you are. Your instinct is to run, to move faster, to search harder. Yet experienced hikers often recommend something surprisingly different. Stop. Become aware of your surroundings. Notice the landmarks. Only then does the path gradually reveal itself. Life may work in much the same way. When we feel lost, our first impulse is often to add more. More productivity, more information, more goals, more noise. Yet clarity rarely emerges from constant movement. Sometimes it appears in moments of stillness, in the quiet walk without headphones, in the journal no one else will read, in the honest conversation where nothing needs to be performed, in the uncomfortable question we've avoided asking ourselves for years. Who am I becoming? Not who am I supposed to become? Not who do others expect me to become? Who am I becoming? The answer may not arrive immediately, and that's okay. Life isn't an exam with one correct solution. It's an unfolding conversation. Each choice reveals another part of the map. You don't need to see the entire journey before taking the next step. You only need enough clarity to move honestly. This is where many people misunderstand purpose. They imagine it as one grand discovery that permanently removes uncertainty. But purpose often behaves differently. It evolves. The person you are today isn't the person you were 10 years ago. Why would your purpose remain frozen while you continue changing? Perhaps meaning isn't something you find once. Perhaps it's something you continually cultivate through attention, action, and reflection. One decision at a time. One conversation at a time. One ordinary day at a time. Eventually, something subtle begins to shift. The feeling of being lost doesn't vanish because every question has been answered. It fades because you've stopped demanding certainty before allowing yourself to live. You begin trusting that understanding often follows experience, not the other way around. The road becomes visible by walking it, not by staring at the map forever. So if you've been feeling lost lately, maybe you don't need to become someone new. Maybe you don't need to solve your entire future tonight. Maybe the quiet voice beneath all the noise has never stopped speaking. Maybe it has simply been waiting for a moment when you were finally willing to listen. And if that voice has been there all along, then perhaps the real question isn't whether you've lost your way. It's this: what if the person you've been searching for has been patiently waiting inside you the entire time?